How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the Montpellier career mode. This is episode 26 and we have got some Europa League action for you in today's episode. I think that's probably going to be the case for the next few episodes if we get through, because Europa League games at this point are very, very short after each other if you continue in the future rounds, basically. And we faced Stade Rennes in the second leg of the round of 16 stage, and we would have to just get a clean sheet like we did, basically do exactly the same as we did against Besiktas. We already had the away goal advantage. It was a little bit less than the Besiktas game, but we already had the away goals and we just needed to keep a clean sheet and we'd get through nice and easily. However, Stade Rennes did also know that, and they came out in this game looking very strong, and actually within the first 10 minutes it looked like it was going to be them that would dominate this game and probably go through to the quarter-final stage. However, we did get one chance just before we went back in at half-time, and it was just a little chance. Koza with some nice work, just couldn't get it to Showtime. The shot was blocked, and then it would eventually happen. We conceded as Rennes put the ball in the back of the net, and it was poor play by us, but it meant that we would lose our away goal advantage, and now we had to make sure we didn't concede any more, as if we conceded another one, that really probably would be game over. Went in at half-time, luckily, with no more of the chances for them, and I was able to get my word across to the boys and just probably give them a bit of a shouting at because it was a pretty dire first half from us. We did look much better in the second half. You can see here 10 minutes within kicking off we had a good chance. We had a few corners before that as well. We looked a little bit more dangerous, and eventually the ball is worked in to Jory Chotard, and he goes ahead and puts it in the back of the net. He doesn't score very often. A young player from the youth academy of Montpellier in real life. Hasn't played an awful lot of games for them, but is starting to break his way into the squad in real life, and in this one he is looking like a really solid player. He's got some good potential, and looks like he might be able to take over for Savanier long term. Obviously we brought in Les Melu as well, but I think long term Chotard is probably my option in that centre mid spot. After that, the heavens opened for us scoring. We just scored goal after goal. And it was starting to become a bit embarrassing for Rennes. They conceded their third goal in this game, making it 4-2 on aggregate. And just before the referee could blow his whistle for the full time, they did get a couple of chances towards the end. They woke up a little bit. Good save by Horvath, and if he hadn't made that, it actually would have been Rennes going through, as they do go ahead and score one just before he could blow his whistle again for full time. And as you can see, a nice goal, but in the end, it would mean nothing. It was a consolation one, and in the end, the game would finish 3-2. A little bit disappointed to be conceding so late on yet again in games, but we did go ahead and get the job done, scoring 3 goals. They did score an own goal, sadly for them, but in the end, I'm not sure if it was deserved. We definitely kicked into another gear in that second half, but I think probably that first half performance is a bit of a worry. We performed quite poorly, didn't look at our best, and luckily for us, we found some quality in the second half and managed to score 3 goals to secure our place in the quarter-final. And who would we face? Well, that would be Porto, the Portuguese champions, I believe, last season. Of course, we go ahead and face probably one of the most difficult sides in the competition, really. There are a few ones, obviously. There's Man United, there's Tottenham, Inter as well. But Porto, I think, are sort of sometimes under the radar, as we go ahead and pick up a simmed match win against FC Metz, a really nice victory for us there. I think Porto sometimes go a little bit under the radar. They've got some really good quality players in their team, some good youngsters as well, so over the next few years you'll see them grow, and actually they could become quite a good powerhouse if managed well, and if they make the right signings as well. I'm not sure how well the AI do with them, but they did make it to the quarterfinals, so it's always going to be a tough game. I think any team at this stage is going to be a difficult one to face. We had a youth scout report as well, nothing too exciting, but one big one to make the new squad is Konrad Nagy, or Nagy, the Hungarian striker, possibly the next Puskás, who knows. I don't really think Hungary have had many great players since that sort of time. They've had some good players here and there, I think, but Nagy looks like a fantastic striker for the future. He's not quite there yet. Exciting prospects, so could grow to become into those sort of high 80s, possibly with dynamic potential even higher. He looks like he could be our striker for a long time. We have got a lot of strikers at the club though, so he's going to find it difficult to push his way into the team, and he's not going to instantly make the bench just because he's a youth prospect. He's going to have to earn those places, maybe in a sub appearance, or just an appearance where maybe he gets lucky and there's some injuries in the team and he has to make his way into the lineup somewhere. But we'd have to see how he fares. We would have to give him some time to grow, obviously. He's only 60 rated, he's probably not ready for this level. We may not even see him as a starting player in this career mode, who knows, but that wouldn't matter. We would go into the next game against Toulouse in the league as we looked to extend our winning run. As we beat Metz previously, we wanted to go ahead and beat Toulouse in this one as well, and they're obviously a newly promoted side this year. They have the worst defensive record, as you saw from the opening cutscenes as well, and they are rock bottom of the league with 0 wins in all matches this season. So naturally, it was shaping itself up to be a good one, hopefully for us. We were hoping to score a few goals. I sent out a couple of rotation players, as we did have a big game against Porto coming up very shortly, so I had to make sure we rotated well and rotated with a couple of players getting their chance. Troy Parrott started up front, and a couple of players came in that weren't starting in the last game as well. So it was still relatively strong, I'd say, but sadly for us, defensively we switched off and allowed Sangare to go ahead and put the ball in the back of the net for his second goal of the season, and it would mean that we'd go in at half-time 1-0 down to Toulouse. And I might just want to point on this. They were the worst defensive record in the league by some way, and they were absolutely fantastic in the second half. They really did not let nearly one chance get past them. We were limited to outside of the box shots, and you can see there Bashar nearly bending one in top corner. I think he scored one of them early on in the season, and again we get another chance, but it's out from outside the box, and Troy Parrott puts it out over the top of the bar, and we go ahead and miss another opportunity in this game, and we go ahead and concede just at the last minute as well. 87 minutes in, ball gets played in to their striker, and he goes ahead and nets his first goal of the season as we go ahead and concede the second goal of this game. So it really wasn't going our way in this one. We go ahead and lose because there was no way we were getting another chance. They defended very well after this. We go ahead and lose to bottom of the league with no wins in the league this season. Sorry, that was his second goal this season, I think. Sorry, my bad. Still doesn't matter. Incredibly embarrassing. We concede late in both halves and lose the game 2-0 as we have an embarrassing defeat and just a really poor performance by the teams. I don't care that I put out a relatively weakened side. If you actually look at the team, it's pretty strong. A lot of the first teamers are in there. There were a couple of rotations. Les Melu obviously was coming on back from his injury, so he was starting him, and a few players that maybe weren't at full fitness, but honestly, that is not an acceptable performance. I was actually quite disappointed. So naturally, going into the Europa League game, we rotated a few players, we changed around a little bit. We played some more full-strength lineup. Arnold Souquet returned to the lineup. Obviously, Horvath always starts in goal for our cup matches. And up front, Delors and Dennis Mann return to the lineup. It was a good side we faced against Porto as well. Abubakar up top. They had Nakajima on the wing. He's very quick. Marchesin and Pepe at the back. Casco as well is quite a good left back. So it was a difficult matchup, and I knew that we were going to have to be our absolute best if it was to stand a chance of getting anything in this game. Luckily for us, Dennis Mann goes ahead, goes through on goal with his first chance of the game, and puts it in the back of the net. And as you can see, he made a great diagonal run, which really took both defenders out of the running for getting that ball. Both of them thought they were covering it. The other one was covering each other, and neither of them picked up his run, and Mann puts the ball in the back of the net, making it 1-0 against the Portuguese side as we go ahead and pick up, I would say, probably a shock lead early on. I don't think we were expected to get too much. I was hoping just a clean sheet in this game, to be honest, and seeing if we could nick a goal at the other end in the second leg, as I think Porto are a good side. I just think that away goal is going to prove crucial to us if we're to get through this, and I think if we can make sure we don't concede an away goal in this leg, I was actually quite hopeful of our chances in this tie, and as we go ahead and pick up our second goal, my hope was growing ever sort of stronger. We scored 2 goals from our only 2 shots of the game, and Horvath was doing well to keep out Porto, as they had 3 shots in the first half. And actually in the second half as well, it was much the same. We sort of dominated the ball, held it up quite well. They had one good opportunity, or a couple of good opportunities, and it fell to them in the 66th minute. Otavio with some good hold-up play plays in Evanilson, and he puts that in the back of the net as they go ahead and pick up that elusive away goal that every side wants in these European competitions. And that gives Porto just a slight way in back into the tie if they are to pick anything up. They are the home side, so they are going to be a much stronger outfit with the home crowd behind them. And we'll have to see how we face them in the second leg next episode. That is going to spell the end of today's episode, though. Do hope you enjoyed watching. Do leave a like if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And I will see you for the next episode of the Montpellier Career Mode very soon. So thanks for watching, and goodbye.